All right, welcome to Broncos Country Tonight. We're going to react to the Broncos' loss to the Chiefs, 43-16. The great Steve Atwater in studio with me. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing great. Ryan, how are you?
I'd be doing
better if we won, but yeah, hey, man, it is what it is.
I'd be doing better if the Broncos won or even didn't have so many mistakes. We'll get to all that here in just a second. Of course, throughout the course of the show, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the offense, the defense, but I wanted to start right now with some overall impressions of kind of what happened. And like I said, that seems like the overarching theme of this game is there were just too many mistakes.
Yeah, that's what I came away with it. Just, feeling like Drew Lock isn't where, everybody wants him to be. I don't think he's where he wants to be right now. He talked in the press conference after the game a little bit about, just making sure he can get through that third and fourth read. It seems like he's just getting to his first and second read in his progression. So that's huge, especially when, you have a little bit of time. Offensive line is doing a good job. You got to make sure that you're getting through that progression and getting the ball to the open receiver versus, locking in on a guy.
Well, plus you had the things on special teams, and special teams has been a little bit of an issue throughout the course of the season, highlighted when you're playing really good teams like the Chiefs. You can't give up kickoffs for touchdowns. You can't have fumbles, muff punts. You can't let a ball get down inside the 1 yard line. I mean, there were just so many moments that the Broncos, if they would have zagged instead of zigged, they probably would have a chance to win that game.
Yeah, and special teams is a big part of all games, and, one or two plays are going to really make a difference. And I think special teams comes down to discipline just like offense and defense does. The special teams guys, even though they aren't starters, they're starters on special teams, and they got to have that same discipline to stay in their lanes when they're going down, breaking down to make tackles, and doing the things that they need to do to make sure that other teams don't score points. And they hurt us when they're on the field.
Okay, so I want to come back to more of the mental side of this thing because it seemed like mentally the Broncos struggled in this game, almost the hurdle of the Chiefs. Like there's an aura about the Chiefs. They've lost now 10 straight to them. Is there something to that they just kind of play a different kind of football against the Chiefs just because of who they are?
I think it certainly can be that way for some people, but the other people is just like, hey, I see that guy over there. He's, whatever number the guy is, and they look at him just as numbers. And, that was the thing for me. I remember our rookie year, we lost to the 49ers, and, I say this story, man, that haunted me for a while. I was like, man, the Niners, man, I was a little bit intimidated by them. And I remember Mike Shanahan coming in. He's like, hey, man, and we were about to play the Niners one, I think it was preseason or something. And he's like, hey, just look at those guys like, Jerry Rice. He just, what was Jerry Rice, number 80? He's number 80,
yeah.
Joe Montana, just whatever his number is. And I was like, hey, that's, a better way of looking at it. And I did that, and I didn't show any respect to them. I was just looking at them like they were numbers. When you don't look at them like that and you look at them like, oh, my goodness, we're going up against Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's a great runner. He was great down there. You can't do that. You just got to go out and play ball.
Yeah, and you wonder if there's something from the coaching staff, if there's a way, and I don't know exactly what the answer is, but, I mean, this game gets hyped. Like, it gets hyped by the fan base. Man. It gets hyped, I imagine, inside the locker room. I mean, if you're looking at the schedule, this is a benchmark kind of game. And so the Broncos came up under it. I hesitate to make too much of that because I think at the same time, it is just one game. And it's only game 6 of a 16-game season. But it's hard not to, if you're a fan or if you're somebody that did build this up a little bit as a benchmark, not to kind of overreact a little bit.
Yeah, and, we played so well the last 2 games. Although we didn't score any touchdowns the previous game, I thought we played well, especially defensively. I thought we came out and played really well against the Chiefs defensively early on, and then things just kind of got out of control. But, yeah, it's, I understand people making it, bigger than it is, saying, hey, we need to play better. We need to do this. We need to do that. Some people aren't as understanding, and you kind of want that, right? I mean, you want fans to be passionate and to care and to, voice their frustration. I mean, I'm like that. I know you don't like fans booing and,
Well, I don't like booing, but I do like passion. And I really do. And actually, you saw passion from the players. Like, that's one thing I would say over the last couple of years, there were times when the Broncos were getting their ears boxed in, and they didn't seem to really be responding in the way.
So what do you consider passion? I mean, Why do you say they were?
Well, like I saw Drew Lock in his post-game press conference. He looked visibly angry.
Yeah, he looked
He looked angry about it.
That's how I want him to be. Yeah.
Shelby Harris got into an altercation on the sideline with his coach. Now, you don't necessarily always want that to be, but he was mad. He was yelling. He was trying to fire guys up. Bradley Chubb was over there doing that.
I got to talk to my boy Shelby. Hey, man, you got to know who to yell at and who not to yell at.
I mean, there's some truth to that. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, you don't want the other side where they're kind of mopey and like, the Chiefs got our number again. We're just not really very good. Yeah. No, I mean, I think there is long-term ramifications for wins and for losses, and especially when you're a young team. And I guess that's what I look to build on after this, because you are a young team. You're going to make mistakes. You made extra amount of mistakes against a very good team, and you found out that you just simply can't get away with it.
Yeah, and, at the end of the day, when you go back and reevaluate everything, you still realize, look, man, we got a ton of injuries on this team. Now, obviously, some guys are back, but we're still not at full speed. We still don't have Cortland Sutton. We still don't have Jarrell Casey. We still don't have Von Miller. Those are three big pieces to the puzzle. Also, young team, first year in this offense, it takes time. And, although I know the team is frustrated, I know the fans are frustrated, I'm looking at the big picture, and the thing we can't do is make another change and say, all right, we're going to scrap this and go with someone else. We got to dig deep in this. Guys got to go deep in that playbook, learn as many of the nuances as you can from this playbook, and hopefully, it's simple enough, the game plan is simple enough to where they can execute the plays as best as they can execute them. But we just got to put in the work, man, and it's frustrating at times. But hey, sometimes it's just how it is, especially going up against the defending Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what it's going to be. And I'm glad you said it like that. There is no quick fix. It's an important note. And it's okay for a fan to ride the roller coaster of reaction, but the team will never look at it that way. There is no quick fix. They kind of have to go at this with the guys that they have. When we come back, though, we're going to take a deeper dive on the offensive side of the ball, the development of Drew Lock. What's that look like? We'll get to it next.